Sairam, everyone.
Sairam.
Just to recap what we discussed last week, Swami is trying to encourage us to develop the conviction and the confidence that meditation will yield results, even though it may not seem to be a very active, loud path. And Swami gave the example of how the one-celled living organism like amoeba or a small organism withstood the onslaughts of the world weather conditions and has grown even as an avatar, as Swami says. So he says that is possible only through the union with the Atman, through the path of meditation. And Swami did not want us to waste any more time. He says, from now on, continue and start and continue the remembrance of the Lord, the name, and Swami is encouraging us to proceed on this path, saying that this is the basis of all sadhanas. And so he's sort of giving us the importance of this path of meditation as the foundation of any sadhana. So with those words, I think we can continue with the reading of Dhyana Vahini Saira. Sister Kalyani and Sister Narmada.
Saram, meditation is the basis of spiritual experience. Therefore, everyone must now strengthen the mind and make it be aware of the happy moment of bliss. Otherwise, there is a likelihood of the mind discarding all efforts to reach what is now dismissed as empty and useless. But once the mind is convinced that the moment of attunement with divine consciousness, Chaitanya, is a moment of complete power, suffused with divine power, Shakti, then the effort will not be slackened. The spiritual aspirant can reach the Atmic realization without further interruption. With this as the ideal, carry on meditation and mental repetition of the divine name from now on. The step immediately after meditation, dhyana, is total absorption, samadhi. Meditation is the seventh of the eightfold yoga. Do not give up this royal road that leads you onto that sacred goal. Meditation is the very basis of all spiritual practice, sadhana.
Thank you very much, Sister. So this is, we are rereading what was read last week. As you can see, Swami says, when our mind is attuned with divine consciousness or Chaitanya, it possesses complete power because it is suffused with Shakti or divine energy. And so those are my words. If anyone has something to say with respect to what we discussed regarding this paragraph from last week, please do so, Sai.
Sorry, can I just ask a quick question about why is it called the Royal Road or Raja Yoga?
I think it is. This is my thing in the next paragraph, next chapter. I think Swami is talking about it. But I think when it's royal, that something that rules everything in this world. So what exactly is ruling the world is Atman. So the thing is, the Atmic realization is possible only through meditation, as Swami says, because you may that skill of meditating or uniting with the Lord, or the attunement with the divine consciousness, is what Swami is calling um, uh, dhyana. And so because of that, because of it joining the samadhi, also Swami again talks about total absorption, is the ultimate in spirituality. And I think that is the reason it is called Raja. I think even in Gita, it's called Raja Guhya Yoga. So it is considered very, let's say, royal road. That's all I can say. And Guhya also means it is very private. It's each individual has to privately meditate because it's something of going within. All the other sadhanas have some external manifestation, but whereas dhyana and samadhi are completely internal. And because of that, I think it is called royal road, because without the presence of that, nothing can be achieved. Other forms of sadhana will not have much effect if this dhyana is not cultivated. That's my understanding, but I will open it up for others to share their thoughts, please.
Sairam, brother, if I can add, good that you mentioned, it's a silent connection with God, or silent communication with God, more than singing the glory of God loudly. It's very, very unique way of being connected with the consciousness, divine consciousness. Thank you, Saira.
Thank you very much, brother.
Sairam, brother, what you said, very good. And in this Vahini, I think, in the after 2 or 3 downward, I think, or somewhere else, but you sent today in that the Prashnottara Vahini or something, where we see that devotee, I think there, the devotee asks how many types of yogas are there. Then Baba say 4, and they ask the names, and he says the names like mantra yoga, starting with mantra yoga, Raja yoga, and 4 yogas. So, and this yoga, the chief of those 4 yogas, it could be because this is very unique, as you said in the Bhagavad Gita also, this is praised highly. So could be that also could be the reason to name this as Raja Yoga, the royal road, no? The very, 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 very good road to traverse when compared to other yogas. Could be also that meaning. But plus what you said was perfectly good. Thank you.
Sairam, brother. Anyone else would like to say anything? Okay, I think we can proceed. I think Sister Kalyan, I hope whether you're convinced or not doesn't. I think in the next chapter also Swami is talking about this. He's using the word king and royal, Raju and all that in Telugu. So I think we will continue, and I think Swami is going to talk about that. Saira.
Oh, yes. Thank you. No, that was a great explanation.
Cultivate the blissful Atmic experience. People are engaged in various forms of cultivation, but the most important of these is cultivation of spiritual experiences. All cultivation is based on spiritual cultivation. It is the king of cultures. The king makes laws, but he is above and beyond them. So too all rules and laws, all distinctions of right and wrong, of sin and virtue, of joy and sorrow, affect only the individual soul, jivi, that attaches importance to the inexperienced mind, manas, and intellect, buddhi, and not to the atma. So cultivation of the atmic experience, which is pure, convincing, and self-transcending, is essential for all. It is also easy for the atma, it is the mother of all. and hearkening to the Atma. It is like the child hearkening to the mother. Everyone is competent to have that experience. In fact, it is everyone's right to have it. That is why the Atmic discipline is being treated by me as so important.
Sairam, thank you very much, sister. Swami is, I think in the answer what Sister Kalyani asked, I think for answer the question Sister Kalyani asked is here, because Swami says he's saying we are engaged in cultivation is another word which Swami uses, which is vyavasaya, because all activities are in some form or other cultivation. But the farmer who cultivates the land has to go through a very systematic process of weeding the weeds out, keeping the pests out, and also making sure the crop grows well. So it has many aspects and has to be done systematically to have a bountiful harvest. And so Swami says this is a spiritual cultivation, and it is a king of all cultivations, as Swami says. And then he goes on to talk about king. King is the one who makes the laws, and he's above and beyond them. So even above, beyond, to reach that point of above, Swami shows all the dualities, rules and laws, right and wrong, sin and virtue. This path will take someone above that. That is why it transcends everything, is also something which Swami is highlighting to us. So I will, and again, Swami is talking about the Atma as the mother of all. And so I will just leave it as, again, Swami is highlighting the discipline as the most important. Once again, it's the last sentence sort of emphasizes that. So I will stop here, and I will invite you all to share your thoughts and comments and any impressions you have, Saira.
When Swami says Atmic discipline here, is he talking about specifically Raja Yoga or any type of sadhana that we undertake?
I think that's a good question, sister. Anyone who would like to comment on this, please?
So, Sairam brother, for the meditation, if you don't have the discipline, if you don't have the good characters, then when you close your eye, you cannot control the mind. So to control the mind, all three gunas, so you have to add the sattvic gunas is an important one. Then only you can meditate on the form, or you can meditate on the name of the Lord. So discipline is very, very important to control the mind. Thank you, Sairam.
Sairam brother, what is the Telugu word there? The last
Yes.
one.
So actually, I think Mani Aunty is here.
Yeah.
So what do you want me to read?
The last line of the first paragraph.
The last line.
Okay.
Atmic discipline. What is?
Atma Sambandhamaina Leka Brahma from there. Auntie.
Okay. Let me read it. అన్ని కృషులు ఆత్మ కృషినైన ఆధారపడి ఉన్నది. అన్నిటికీ అది రాజ వంటిది. ఎన్ని విధములైన శాసనములు విధించునో ప్రజలకే గాని రాజుకు కాదు. రాజ శాసనకర్త కాన ఈ ప్రకృతి సంబంధమైన సర్వ నీతి నియమములు, మంచి చెడ్డలు, పాపపుణ్యములు, సుఖదుఖములు అనుభవరహితమైన మనోబుద్ధులకు ఆధారముగా వహించి జీవికే గాని ఆత్మకు చెందవు. అట్టి నిర్మలమైన, నిశ్చలమైన, నిస్వార్థమైన ఆత్మానురాగ కృషి అందరికీ తల్లి వంటిది. సర్వలకు తల్లి అయిన ఆత్మను పొందవలను. This is what you wanted to know? To read?
No, a little later, Auntie.
Little later.
More sentences.
సర్వలకు తల్లి అయిన ఆత్మను పొందవలను. వాంఛ ప్రతి పుత్రునకు అర్థమే కదా. అర్థమే కాక పాత్రుడు కూడను. అందు నిమిత్తమైన నేను ఆధ్యాత్మిక సాధన అంత ప్రధానాంశంగా తీసుకొందును.
That's the one.
Yeah.
So that's the line, that's the translation. But anyway, there's one more line in Telugu, but that doesn't seem to have been translated. But this is the word, Auntie. This is the sentence.
వాంఛ ప్రతి పుత్రునకు అర్థమే కదా.
Yes.
అర్థమే కాక పాత్రుడు అందు నిమిత్తమై నేను ఆధ్యాత్మిక సాధన అంత ప్రధానాంశంగా తీసుకొందును. ఆధ్యాత్మికముగా అంతరాత్మ లేక బ్రహ్మ సంబంధమైనది. సాధన అనగా విద్య ఆత్మ సంబంధమైన లేక బ్రహ్మ సంబంధమైన విద్య నేర్చుకున్నట్టుకు మానవుడు ప్రతి విద్యార్థి లక్ష్యముగా భావించవలను.
Thank you.
You know what Swami is trying to tell us is, whatever we find these dvandvas, the opposites, right, wrong, sin, virtue, joy and sorrow, everything only it affects the jivi, soul, but not the atma. So if we keep on thinking that only we are jivis, we cannot have all the things, that's not going to help us. We have to go beyond that and then try to concentrate on the atma. That atmic experience everybody has to cultivate, and it's going to help us to transcend all these opposites in life. That's what I feel.
Okay, thank you, Auntie.
Sairam.
So the word Swami has uses pradhanamu, which is important, and the Swami uses the word adhyatmika sadhana.
That is it. Cultivation of the atmic experience is called adhyatmika sadhana.
Yes. So I think, Sister Kalyani, your question is Swami referring to only meditation, or what about the other sadhanas, was your question? Because I think what we discussed last time, because dhyana is an integral part of any sadhana. So that is cultivating that atmic principle in every sadhana which we do is essential, is what Swami is saying. Swami is not necessarily saying this is a separate path. Swami is saying the sadhana is important. So even when we are doing any other sadhana, this is it should be an integral part of that form of sadhana for us to benefit from it. And that's why Swami says he's giving it more importance. He's giving it real importance. And because he says this is the mother of all sadhanas. And because Atma is because we are trying to reach the Atma. We should not be doing sadhana from as Santi has pointed out, at the level of a jivi alone, and thinking that the Lord is far. And I think that's my understanding, but I will ask others to share their thoughts also, please. Because Swami has used, I will just clarify one thing. Swami says, Adhyatmika sadhana anta pradhanamsamuga. So pradhana amsamuga means as a important ingredient, an important part. I'm giving it that aspect, important aspect, you can say. Amsha means
Aspect.
Pradhana amsa. So I'm saying I'm giving it that aspect of Atmic experience is an important aspect. I'm giving that aspect very great importance. I hope that clarifies your question, hopefully.
Sairam, brother. I just wanted to, on top of it, I just, in this paragraph, the main thing Swami is talking about the Atmic experience. That is why Swami may saying the Atmic discipline is important. So the Atmic experience, which is pure, convincing, and self-transcending, that part, if we try to understand that, then we know what the discipline we have to follow, kind of. Thank you, Sairam.
Thank you, sister. Anyone who would like to comment on this, please, question?
Sairam.
Sairam auntie.
Oh, I just want to know what is the difference between individual soul and the Atma?
No, there is no. Individual soul itself is Atma.
That's what I thought.
Sorry, Jivi. No, individual soul is, sorry, Jivi. Individual soul is Jivi.
But the Atma is also inside us, isn't it?
It is inside us, but the Jivi is the reflection of that Atma.
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
Okay.
It's the reflection of the Atma, which is Jivi.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. That's clear now.
Jivi is the shadow, auntie.
Shadow.
Shadow.
It's the shadow.
Whatever.
It's a reflection. I think this, which we are covering, interestingly, this is being covered in Sandeha Nivarni.
Yeah, we are covering it now.
Through the pose of Chidabhasa, from the Chit, which is the Atman, becomes Jivi, Swami says, because it's entwined with the Antakaranas, the Manas, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankaram, because that reflection of the Atman is mingled with the Manas, mind functions.
Mana, Buddhi, Ahankara. And it becomes Jivi.
So I hope, I think we can move on if everyone is okay. Our sister has the question. I think no one has ventured to. She's asking why it is pure, convincing, and self-transcending. See, my understanding is, sister, once you connect to the Lord, see, Dhyanam is connecting, that having that attunement. I think the previous chapter, last paragraph, Swami talks about attunement with the Atma. That means we are in tune with the Atman. So the meditation is supposed to take us to a stage where we are completely in tune with the Atman. Once you are in tune with the Atman, you are beyond everything. That's why it says self-transcending. So you don't identify yourself as Jivi. You identify only with the Atman, as an extension of the Atman. And you develop the ability to see this world as world, as Maya, or it is not real. That experience we all have to seek. That's what Swami is telling.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sairam, I have a question, Brother Arno here. Swami is talking about it is also easy for the Atma is the mother of all, and hanging to the Atma is like a child hanging to the mother. What does that mean? I didn't get that part though. Sairam.
Listening.
Hearkening means yearning for. Vancha is the word Swami has used.
Yeah.
Vancha prati putrudak. Vancha means desire, a deep yearning
For the mother.
for the mother. It is like a small calf crying out for the mother. The small calf which is lost somewhere wants the mother so badly. So it has to just call out and the mother will connect. But if the calf cannot call out, it cannot connect. So this meditation is that tune. You tune to the frequency of the mother. So that's why Swami says, once because it should naturally come to any child. So he says, because the Jivi is the child of the Atman, it should be a natural tendency. But the thing is, we, in our own distraction in the world, we forget to call out to the mother. So it is easy, but it may seem difficult because we are so entangled with the world and the creation. I think that is my understanding, brother.
Yes, correct.
I will ask others to invite their comment. I would like to invite others' comments as well.
Sairam, brother, is it like a sparkle of divine looking for to merge with the source like that?
Yes, it is. It is, sister. In this context, Swami always quotes Upanishadic dictum called Shrinvant Putre Amritasya Putra. Shrinvant Vishwe Amritasya Putra. Basically, Swami says, this entire human creation, listen, that all of you are the children of immortality.
Yeah.
You are the children of Atman. It is like, a lion cub fell into the herd of sheep, and it started thinking that it is also sheep and it's bleating, because it has forgotten that it's a lion, and it has forgotten that it has a family of lions. And when it's not difficult for it to become a lion again. So it is just that it's something similar. So it's like the mother or father coming and looking for. Because there's a nice nursery rhyme which everyone sings. But I think the mother duck, all the small ducklings go away and they don't come back. Then one day the mother duck goes looking for the ducklings, and all the ducklings come back. So it is like that, they forget that, they have to come back home. So the Lord comes, and then it's very easy. It is not difficult at all. So it is that connection that we have to form, and the meditation is the sadhana which helps us connect. That is why it is easy. That's my understanding. That's why Swami says, why avatar has to take place is, we may look at statues and hear other stories. It is very difficult. But when avatar descends amongst us and moves, because people say, oh God, we don't know when we will reach and all that. He will come and simplify and say, look here, this is nothing big. Don't think I am God somewhere far away. I am so high up. You are also my children. That is why the avatar comes. And he makes it so simple. You move he is like another person in our family. So once you realize that, it's very simple. It's until the realization dawns, it seems difficult. I think that's my understanding. Sorry for taking too long. I will let others.
Sai Ram, when I look at this passage, and I thought Swami is telling that everyone is competent to have that experience. Even he further reiterate, in fact, it's everyone's right to have it. But when it comes to the dhyana or the meditations, we all think that we are not competent to have that experience, most of us. And even though Swami is telling us, it is also easy, but we find it very difficult, to get into that, closer to the higher stage of meditation, or even go to the samadhi stage, we find it very, very difficult. So something is lacking in our sadhana, or whether we are really attached to the other things and we didn't focus on what we should be doing, or something is lacking, because Swami is telling it is easy, everyone is competent to have that experience. Previously, I thought, maybe when we have that, the certain level, then only, the meditation, it would naturally come into us, and we have to earn that merit to have that, meditation experience. But Swami is telling here clearly, everyone is competent to have that experience. It is everyone's right to have it. So something is lacking in our practice or sadhana, or whether we are out of track, or some sort of maybe discussion I would like to have in that particular, the sentence or in that statement. Thank you, Sairam.
Thank you, sister. Anyone who would like to comment and share your thoughts, please? Sister has asked a nice question.
So, Sairam brother, so everyone is competent to have that experience. So everyone has the power. So you have to knock the door until the door is open. But you have to know which door you knocked. You have to knock the door, God's door, until He opened. It's a good example you explain about the calf lost somewhere. So you cry for the mother until you reach the mother. So we have to, until we reach that the goal, we have to work hard for that one. Thank you, Saira.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you. Anyone else would like to share any thoughts, please?
Saram, I just have a question again on the Atma and Jivan. So, if the soul is the reflection of Atma, then what is the difference between Atma and Paramatma? If Atma is mother of all and pure, then there's Paramatma as well, right? So I'm a bit confused there. If you can give me a bit more clarification on that.
Okay, thank you, Satya. So I think I'll just, because the thing is, Atma, whereas what Swami says, Atma and Paramatma are the same. That's my understanding. Because the word Paramatma is used in relation to the word Jivatma. When people refer to the GV, here Swami is telling GV. Okay. When you say GV, you can say Atma. But when you use the word Jivatma, then you have to use the word Paramatma. You just to separate that what you are talking about. Jivatma is the GV, which is engulfed by the senses and the mind. Because of that, it thinks that it is this human being, it's separate from Paramatma. That is the Jivatma. Even though it has the spark of divinity, it has enmeshed itself in this world through the senses and the inner instruments like mind, buddhi, and so on. Whereas Paramatma is beyond that. It is not enmeshed into all that. Okay, that here Swami is using the word Atman to refer to what is called Paramatma. Okay, and I think Sister Anandi's question is because it is Christmas time. I thought we should recollect a parable by Jesus. I think everyone may know the story of the prodigal son. I don't know if anyone, if anyone is volunteering to tell the story of the prodigal son, I will invite.
I will do that.
Pardon?
I can do that.
Okay, brother, go ahead.
So father had two sons, and he has a lot of wealth. Father had a lot of wealth, but the younger son is younger son wanted his share of father's property, and he had got a lot of friends, so he wanted his share. He demanded his share, and he took his share of wealth and went along. And with his own friends, he was spending the money, and father advised him. He said, "Don't, this is not the way, this is not the correct, you have to be with me," and everything, but he didn't listen it. So he wasted. Prodigal means wasting. So he wasted the money, spending wrongly with friends and everything, and all money lost, and he has no money to eat anything, and at last he has to eat the animal food, the tawid, something like that. So he was eating, and then he realized his folly and his mistake, and then he returns to the father, and father hugging him and taking him in, and then so the story ends with it. As far as I remember. So the prodigal son. So he wasn't listened. He didn't listen to the father, but got spoiled, and then at last he comes back, and the father is accepting him. I think I only this I remember. We have much more. I don't know. I think it is.
Yeah, so I think the story in a nutshell is that. So I do not repeat. Why I mentioned the story is the son, even though he went away, he was into the world. He left father's home. He even forgot the father's home and went away. When he came back, he was not sure whether the father will be upset or not. But the father tells, he gave him the same treatment as if he has never left. Because he was competent for that, to share the wealth of whatever was with the father. Also, he had the right. Okay. The father was happy that he came back. So the thing is, the son always thought it may be a difficult thing, father may not accept him, this, that. But the thing is, father said, no, you have the right. Even though you went and squandered all the wealth you took away with you, you still have a place in my house because you have the right as my son. So I think it's sort of, you are competent to have that experience. You have every right to have it. So that is what Jesus said, even if you have lost your way, just come back and everything is yours. It is very simple. It's very easy. Realize that you are part of me. Realize that you are divine. Just that recollecting that thought, remembering that thought will make you one with me. It's not a difficult task at all. So that's why I was reminded of that story, because the son had the right, had the competence in the father's eyes. So that is why it is so easy. So I thought it's a good story for us to recollect. So we should not think that it's not possible, we can't achieve it, and so on. Swami says it is possible. It is your right. Just do it. That's all. Saira.
Sairam, brother, that is a very nice story and very good. The Jivatma and Paramatma, there's a story Swami tell about that one, that two birds are sitting and eating one fruit, and other one's observing, and the other one is a witness. Can you tell the story? We can put the same story to explain this one too, Jivatma and Paramatma.
Yes, if anyone else is interested in telling the story, I will invite.
Can I can tell the story too. So there was a tree, and then there were two birds, and one bird was on top of a branch, and one bird was in one of the lower branches, and this bird, the lower bird, was eating the fruits from the tree. Some fruits were ripe, some fruits were unripe. So when it eats the unripe fruit, it enjoyed bitterness, pain. When it was eating the ripe fruits, it was happy. Like that, it was spending time. And when it is switching from pain, pleasure, it doesn't understand what, it's not satisfied, that bird. So it slowly steps up the branches, no? And stepping up, and still same thing. Then when it goes closer to the other bird never ate any fruit, or ripe or unripe. And this bird, when it comes closer and then realizes, oh, this should be my state. I am that. And that Jivatma bird merges in the Paramatma bird, and it realizes who he is or she is. That is a story. So Jivatma is realizing Paramatma when it gives up the pain and pleasure and the experience of the worldly life. When the worldly life is discarded, he can be 100% peaceful and in bliss. So that bird realized that is true state. Thank you, Sayara.
Thank you, brother. But both birds are same, but only thing other witness.
Yeah, correct. Actually, the top bird is the real bird. This is an image bird. So the image bird, then when it goes up and up, and realizes it is she that she, yeah, same bird, but the reflection. This bird was a reflection of that bird. There was no two birds actually. Yeah, correct. You're correct.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, brothers. So I think it's, so Swami is just giving us all the boost, the confidence to pursue, saying, don't say we are sinners, it will never happen to us. He says it is within your birthright. Just demand and take it. Don't lose the opportunity. Is what I think Swami is telling us all. So we can continue on, if it's okay. Sai Ram sisters.
Oh, one question before we move on. So that same question that Auntie Anandi asked about the Atma is the mother of all, hearkening to the Atma is like the child hearkening to the mother. So, and you said that means kind of like yearning or a desire for the mother. And I guess a lot of the trouble is that maybe we don't have enough of that desire. Like when I just think about my own son, usually when I come home from work, he'll right away come and say hi to me, unless he's on the tablet. And then there's silence. He doesn't come near me. So I guess it's like the world is kind of like this addictive, I guess, place where we're all so absorbed in it. So other than like praying to God to give us more of that yearning, is there anything else that we can be doing? Or is it just doing more of our sadhana, more prayer?
I think the human. Sorry, I should not belittle anything, but I hope if it's not appropriate, just ignore it. But the reality is in the human interactions. The child sometimes finds other things very entertaining. If you also dance and sing like what the tablet is doing, the child will be attracted. But the reality is, when at a human level, we may not be able to give that unbounded love. But even the human child at times feels for the mother. When, then think that the mother is not going to be around or some, has to leave somewhere, the child is immediately pained. So, but that is true. Sometimes that experience doesn't come. But in the case of the divine, it's slightly different, is my understanding. Because with the divine, once you taste it, you will not let go. But that initial taste is the biggest challenge. Because for that, this type of sadhana help. I think Swami has used the word bliss. The title itself is blissful experience, because once we taste it, we will remember, and we will not let go. And that is why sadhana, dhyana provides you that glimpse. That is the process by which you will get the taste. That is why Swami has to write this Vahini and tell us, so that because we have forgotten, we are lost in the tablet of this world. And sometimes only through education and training it can be achieved, and that is the effort which I think we have to make. So this whole process of dhyana is to slowly one day get a taste of it, and it's just developing the taste. It's a learned taste because we have forgotten, not necessarily it is something unnatural. That's my understanding, but I will open it up for others to comment.
Brother, it's like our study circle. When we were struggling at the beginning, now everybody's get the like a really hang of it, like a taste of it. Everybody's in their own. They are now joining and they wanted to learn more, that kind of things. You can see from the God side too. If you see the taste of it, as you said, you will find a more towards it. Thank you. Sairam.
So, Sairam, brother, if you want to get the taste of it, your focus supposed to be with the God. See, if you go to Lord Shiva temple, you can see the Nandi. Nandi is focusing only on Shiva, nothing else. If you go to Murugan temple, peacock is focusing only with Lord Muruga. Even if you go to Ram temple, Hanuman is there. He just focusing only the Lord's feet or Lord. Same way, when we focus with the God, we can enjoy the bliss. Thank you.
Sairam.
Sairam. So the question is now, are we ready? Are we ready to give up all these worldly pleasures as insignificant? That what is called that standard only comes through bad experience in the worldly life. So there will be a time for everybody will have his or her own space time to come. So if we happen to realize that no, I am wasting my time. So this birth, if I do as I want, then someday I will die, and others will just cry for one moment or 2 seconds. Then they go into bury me. That's it. So so anybody thinks that, oh, I'm going to waste this life. So that when we realize that, see, we are going to waste this precious life, only on that realization, this atmic interest will start to come. So it depends on the age and the circumstances and the samskaras that we brought from previous births. Now, for example, brother, I don't know, got the chance to live with Bhagawan for 7 or more years. He has brought the samskaras for that, and he is ready. And he's living a life that showing that example. And sister, we are very fortunate to have this money, Basim sister. She will not be forgotten the whole history, because she wrote that Baba Mandaram, Vibhuti Mandaram for the whole world to come and recite. So these are all samskaras that we brought from previous births. And so there will be a time for each and everyone to realize that, okay, let me turn the other way around, and mother is calling, let me go, and like that, no? So not the spiritual discipline. Spiritual discipline will we get interested in us only when we get discussed with the worldly things. Oh, the realizing the impermanent nature of these things. No, that's what I want to just tell you. That. Thank you, Sahara.
Sairam, brother. Before anyone jumps to any conclusion, so I should speak up. See, what I'm saying is the prodigal son story is a very nice story. What Swami is telling is everyone is his child. Okay. The prodigal son story gives us two extreme examples. Two sons, one stayed with the father, one went away for a long time and spent everything. So they are the two ends of the spectrum. Okay. Why did one son stay with the Lord Father? Because he thought he always felt, going outside is not going to be better. This is the best. But the other son thought, okay, there can be something better, and he went away. And as Brother Sivadas said, the experiences teach in this world to go back. So I think we should all understand, every one of us here, there are people who have stayed with Swami for years and then they have gone away from Swami. I think Sister Mani, Auntie Mani will be able to vouch for that.
Yeah, that's so many.
So staying physically is not important. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm taste Swami much more intensely now than when I was there. Not to say that, Swami gives some glimpses of great joy and bliss, no doubt. But I think all of you also have, in your own ways, gotten it. But the thing is, I think, though these are two spectrums, even in the worst case, you get beaten up by the world, you will go back. But do we want to wait till that time? Is the question Swami is posing. I'm telling you, come back. It's like a mother duck calling out to the children, If they don't come, the mother duck will go and bring them back. But the thing is, that's too late, and after a lot of suffering. So I think all this we are reading so that we can make up our mind and say, okay, we should not neglect this. We should go back home. So I think it is all in each of our hands, each one of our hands, that choice, because all of us are children of the same Lord, the same level of closeness, as much as we give to that. So it is all of our choice, and no one should feel, we didn't have this. If all of us are reading this, it is not by accident that we are reading. Absolutely not. There are many people who may have never set their sight on this, because if you're able to read Swami's words, that means we are close. He is talking to us. So I think it's just a matter of making up our mind to listen. That's my understanding. So no one should feel, one person is, has better samskaras. I think each one of us know how good or bad each of us is.
Ultimately, Swami has reassured us so many times that all of us, and there is no other way, we will reach that Atmic bliss. So having come in the form of a human being, it is our effort. It all depends on the individual effort, how early or how late we can reach that Atmic bliss. Swami has assured us. So we can be sure that one day or the other, even after several births, we will finally reach that place. That assurance Swami has given. And in the next paragraph, what he says, Swami is trying to tell us, Viveka, Vairagya and Shadasampati, he speaks about. That helps a person to clear the way, to reach that path a little better. So Swami is going to explain in the next paragraph. Sairam.
Thank you very much.
So Sairam, brother, so after 9 months studies, we have achieved so many things. So for an example, people might think I'm attached to the money. So for an example, if I talk to the Baba, Bangar, go and ask this question, he might ask me, okay? For an example, okay, I'm going to give you 500,000 for you, but only thing I'm going to take away from spiritual knowledge. So you cannot go to Sai Center because you don't believe Swami, you don't believe any spiritual Atmic knowledge, but you're going to have other knowledge. Whatever you studied, you can go to work, you can have party and everything. So which one you will prefer? You will like the whatever money, or just think about, you want the money or whatever the knowledge, whatever you having now. So everyone, most of the people will say from our study circle, we want the knowledge, whatever gain now. So in this way, it is proving that we are detaching from our desires. Thank you, Brother Sairam.
Sairam, Brother Sairam. Thank you. If everyone is okay, we can go to the next paragraph.
Sairam, I think as Sister Anandi was asking a question, that is this the distraction that in the spiritual parlance she couldn't achieve whatever Swami is telling is competent and other things, whether the practice that is we are doing is not sufficient to achieve that level. I don't know, that has been answered.
Yeah, from the discussion, the past 15 or 20 minutes, I got some understanding, and the Swam, the way the worded here, we all have the competent to have that experience, but that's why Brother Aruno told us a beautiful story, what that really mean by those words, and I somehow I got the answer. Maybe.
Okay, thank you, Sister. I want to add one more sentence what Swami is talking about. That's back in 1953, a discourse. I will read that sentence for you. That might be helpful to you. The Swami is saying, spiritual exercise is most required to control the mind and the desires, after which it runs. If you find that you are unable to succeed, do not give up spiritual exercise, but do it more vigorously. That is the answer. Because if you are not succeeding in your meditation kind of thing, we have to, I think we have to focus it more on that. We have to do it vigorously on that. We shouldn't give it up. That's the idea is. Thank you, Saira.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brother Arul Didi. I also thought in my mind, whatever our the sadhana, it's not that enough to reach to that level, or to really experience that blissful moment. Maybe Swami also reiterated that point right now. You quoted me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brothers and sisters.
Sairam, today I learned something new, but before I come to that, when we studied Dhyana Vahini, during our study circles in Dhyana Vahini, this concept was new to me, Atma Dharma. All those years I've been under the impression Dharma is duty, okay, the duty of a son, father, as being a Sai devotee or a citizen of country. So those duties, that was all bodily type. So that's something beyond, that for an entry level or a beginner in spirituality, that's okay. That duties has to be done. As we progress in spirituality, we need to be focusing on Atma Dharma, which was new to me until we studied in Dhyana Vahini. Similar to that, today, I was under the impression, until today, I was under the impression, meditation is for mind and yoga is for body. So today we learned meditation is at the Atmic level, Atmic experience, something beyond our mind. Am I right in saying that?
Yes, Prasad, that is the goal. Swami has used the word lakshyam. He said it should be the lakshya, it should be the goal for every jivi.
Right.
So the ultimate goal of this is samadhi, which is merger with the Lord, and that's the goal of dhyana. That's what Swami said, which is beyond mind.
Yes, like similar to Atma Dharma, the meditation should also be at the Atmic level, a divine consciousness connection.
Yeah.
a subtle, a sacred way of spiritual sadhana.
Yes.
Yes, brother. That's the essence of meditation, and Swami wants us to all understand that. Yes, thank you.
Also, I like to clarify with an example. One of the sisters was asking what is the difference between Jivatma and Paramatma. The example would be, the best example would be waves of an ocean. It's still, waves are part of the ocean, but we see it's different, right?
Yeah.
Waves, because when we discuss, I used to think Jiva as a raindrop and Paramatma as an ocean. Eventually, raindrops goes through streams and rivers and finally merge with ocean. But before that, we still be part of, we are part of God. The only thing is we don't realize it. Therefore, a much better example is waves of the ocean. They are still part of it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
brother.
Sairam. Sairam, thank you.
Sairam. Okay, I think Sister Narmada, you could read.
The primary qualifications. The Atma is also known as Brahman. So learning the Atmic knowledge or Brahman knowledge, Atma Vidya, is to be considered as the objective by every student. Such students have to earn some primary qualifications. Then only do they deserve the status of studentship. These qualifications are discrimination, viveka, renunciation, vairagya, and the 6 qualities that constitute a good character. Aspirants who have these qualifications can hope to attain the Atma with confidence and without much difficulty.
Thank you very much, sister. So I think we were talking about competence. So now Swami is telling how do we develop that competence? Even though they are built within us, we have to manifest them, and that is the way we call out to the mother. Is what I understand from here. So Swami is starting to talk about the qualifications or the qualities which we have to develop, which is the process by which we actually call out to the mother to become one with her. So that is that's my understanding. So I will open it up for others to comment and share your thoughts, please. Sire.
Sam, I have a question regarding the text in this part of the discourse of the. So, what does the word studentship mean, though? I don't get it.
Okay, Sairam. Anyone who would like to comment on brother's question, please?
He's talking about studentship, no? Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, studentship. Yeah. So we are all students, all spiritual aspirants are students. So the students have to have certain qualification to attain to Brahmanhood. So we are all the spiritual aspirants are all students. So we have to go through certain course of things, certain course. Yeah, the course and the qualifications are Viveka Vairagya and 6 some other that qualification like that. I think that's what I can say about that.
Yeah, brother Sairam, that 6 qualities that constitute a good character, that also the 6 qualities, which ones are they referring here, please?
Actually, the Sama, Dama, Uparadi, Tiviksa, Siratta, Samadhana.
Oh.
So there are
Okay.
And these are described in Viveka Chudamani and also Baba's Sutra Vahini. Baba's Sutra Vahini, in the first sutra is Adado Brahma Jignasa. When he tries to explain that sutra, the formula, the aphorism, he is listing all these these all four qualifications, Viveka, Vairagya, and Dhamma Gunadi Sambat, and Mumukshutvam. Mumukshutvam is what we are trying to achieve for. We are after, if we are after liberation, if we are looking for liberation, if you want to know Atmic knowledge or Brahma knowledge, we have to have these at least these three qualifications: Vivaha, Vairagya, and the six gunas, six qualifications, very, very difficult qualification.
Yeah, the Viveka, we learned a lot, like how we have to discriminating. Renunciation, we have some knowledge, but the 6 qualities, if we get to that one by one, then it's good. It would be nice to be a good student. Yeah, thanks, Ira.
That depends on the brother, because that instead of that we can do Sutra Vahini.
No. We can simply
just understand what is each.
Yeah, that's it. It's called Shat Sampatti, 6 qualities.
Yeah.
The first one is Shama.
Yeah.
Control of the mind.
Correct. Good.
Control of the mind is Shama.
Yeah.
And then Dhamma. Dhamma is it's a control of the external sense organs.
Yeah.
That is Dhamma. And then comes Uparati.
Yeah.
Uparati or Uparama, they call it. But this means that observance of one's own dharma, one's own duty. That's Uparati. And then Titiksha is the endurance of all opposites. Heat and cold, pleasure and pain.
Yeah.
That is called Titiksha. And then Shraddha.
Sorry, Auntie, Titiksha mean?
Titiksha means
forbearance, you can say, or
forbearance. Endurance, you can say.
Yeah.
Endurance.
Yeah. And then Shraddha. So Shraddha means faith in the words, in the Guru, and in the Vedanta, and Swami, whatever Swami is trying to tell us. So you have to have faith in it. And then last one is Samadhana. It's the single pointedness of the mind to go through this path. So these are called Shat Sampatti, 6 qualities. Viveka, Vairagya, Shat Sampatti. Then comes Mumukshu.
Thank you so much.
A small, simple definition I'm giving.
Yeah.
I don't know. Arun, if you want to add.
I think for our purposes, this is good.
It's enough. It's enough. That's
otherwise, that itself will become a study circle.
It's a huge study circle. It will become.
Yeah.
I see. We should understand. This is called the study of. Swami introduces these things so that we will go search, find, and study. See, actually, I go back to Sivabalan's question because he asked why suddenly Swami is talking about studentship. In the Telugu Vahini, there is a sentence which has not been translated in the English Vahini. Swami says, sadhana managa vidya. Swami is telling sadhana is knowledge or learning. If you are doing sadhana, I'm a spiritual aspirant means actually you are trying to learn. You are a student. So that is the real student means we think we go and enroll in a program in college or degree. That is not, according to Swami, that is not education. So, he has spent one Vahini on that, which is called Vidya Vahini. But Swami, Atma Vidya. So everyone is a student of Atma Vidya. Any aspirant, every devotee, every person who is trying to tread the path of spirituality is a student of Atma Vidya. So that's the first thing. So the thing is, all these are techniques and skills which we have to develop through this learning process. So that is why we are a student. And so, see, Swami tells this. Why Swami could have explained this. So he puts this seed, so we go and study. We go and find out. So there are multiple discourses on Shat Sampatti and Sadhana Chadushtaya, which is what Sadhana Chadushtaya means. There are 4 important aspects of sadhana. Viveka, Vairagya, Shatsampati, and Mumukshatvam.
Yeah.
Mumukshatvam means the desire for liberation. So, which is what Auntie mentioned. So, Swami has, there's immense, there are discourses on this itself. But I think Swami is just opening up different doors for us to explore and learn. This is just so that he will incite us to learn. It's like he will give us homework. So that's what he's doing. So I think for today, I think this description is good enough. If anyone has a specific question, we can take it up. But let's, otherwise it will be a complete discussion by itself. Okay. I hope I will open it up to everyone. If everyone is okay, we are fine. Because otherwise we branch out into a tangent. So that is the problem. But what we are studying is going to be a very continuous process. It may be many years program until we finish Swami's Vahinis, until we reach him, and we have to be studying. So I think at this point in time, this is good enough for us. That there are other qualities which we have to, basically sense control, mind control, put up with everything, be calm,
and one-pointedness.
Shraddha. This is, I think, good enough for us today, but each of them can be elaborated also further. Thank you very much, Auntie.
Oh, thank you. Are we meeting next Sunday?
Yes, we are planning to. I don't see any reason why we will not.
No. It's Christmas. After Christmas, maybe people will be busy with them.
I don't think no distraction we should have total Shraddha.
Yeah, we are studying Dhyana Vahini. Our Dhyana should be on one aspect.
Okay, that's my view, but I will leave it to the participants. There's no force. Okay. Oh, I think we have more or less reached the time. My gosh, okay, that's a good question. It's I think 4:44. I think we had a good conversation. There's new topics, new things which Swami is opening up for us to explore and study and learn. Because that's why he said you are all students. Every student. So we are all students in his course, and he is telling this is a new topic which you all have to learn. So I think that's what Swami has said. There's nothing for more. I will just open it up for any general comments from anyone before we close.
Sairam.
Yeah, Sairam. Dasan, your talk? Or?
Okay,
so, no, Sister Ambika, you go ahead, please.
Okay, Sairam. I think Swami was the students. I understand. When we study here, only 1 hour is we don't think as a student. 24 hours, whatever we learn, it's a 10 points we learn. At least 1 point we had to practice and think. That is the thing. Transformation is whatever we learn here, we had to practice in our life. Otherwise, we had to be student forever. Then we are not understanding and learning and practicing. That's what my point. Thank you, Sairam.
Sairam, Sister Sairam.
So, Sairam brother, according to this sentence, that Viveka and Vairagya is not like other educational subjects. Here, only thing we can understand, but in order to achieve the main goal, we need that whatever you said, brother, mother's blessing and grace. With that, only we can achieve the Viveka and Vairagya. Thank you, brother Sairam.
Sairam, brother Sairam.
Sairam, Swami also beautifully indicated that we should be having the primary qualification if we want to pursue the meditation, or even if you try to learn the Dhyana Vahini, because now I thoroughly understand why we are thinking that it is so difficult, because we don't even understand the primary qualification or prerequisites for the Dhyana Vahini. We all think that, okay, every Sunday we are learning the Dhyana Vahini or the whatever Swami taught to us, but we didn't even We don't even understand the primary requisites or the primary qualification, what we should be having in order to come to that class. Brother Arun, several times explained, if we want to follow a course in the college or university without having the prerequisites, they wouldn't allow us. But Brother Arun is so generous. That's why he has allowed us into his study circle. So that's why we have to learn something in our own to fit into that prerequisite level. Thank you, Sairam.
Sairam says just a correction. It is not my study circle. I just happen to be in the study circle.
But I too also noted that because of your innate desire to spread this spiritual knowledge among the aspirants who are thirst for it, that part, that bold decision to pay attention to holding the study circles, and even before the coronavirus, one day you spoke to me some day, you said we will be having this even after life becomes to normalcy. We should continue certain Vahinis to be continued online. You were saying that even very much earlier. So you are so somewhere Bhagavan's grace is there, and people, we are changing. We are changing day by day. So it's not like who is going to come and sit. The waste is one from the worldly point of view, wasting 1 hour and 15 minutes here. No, people are coming. They are after it. They want to learn it. They want to progress it, and they need it. And so everything is God's grace that you are here and we are here. And thank you, Zainab. We cannot deny the fact that unless for a person like you, this would happen. No? Thank you, Zainab.
So, Sairam, brother, so you also mentioned something I would like to mention about that. I hope Brother Aruna doesn't say anything. First of all, we have to understand when the senses are so active, very good active, that's the time he joined in the Puttapati. Now we are after 45, 50, 60, senses are going down, we are joined. So he sacrificed his life to the devotion. Not only that, he learned so many things from Swami. He stayed with the Swami. He learned Sanskrit. He learned other languages, Telugu. Not only that, he is very good in English. And other than, best thing is he is very good in Tamil. He can translate. And I have one more thing to add. And I have to add one more thing, but don't abuse him. He knows astrology too. So a lot of people don't know. He knows everything. So we are very fortunate to have him, and we learn so many things from him. We are uplifting our spiritual life. That is real. Thank you, brother, for your service. Swami's work. Thank you.
Sairam, brother. It's the thing is, see, it is the bhiksha, I should say, in Tamil will say, it's the bhiksha which the Lord gives us all. Everyone has been given something by the Lord. So, some people are given money, they have to share. Some people are given health, they have to, use their physical strength to help. Some people are given, so everyone in this world is actually granted something. We all have taken something from the Lord, just like the prodigal son. In his property, we all have a share. We are using it. All of us are using it every day. So actually, it gives me joy just to be part of you all and discuss. To get the blessing. See, all these years I have been reading alone, and I have discussed within myself. But to have a collection of people with the same interest, that is the Swami's blessing. just to share that knowledge and, discuss and see other points of views. Every day, if you think you are learning every day, I am learning every day. Every study cycle, I am learning. If somebody asks a question, I learn something, because I'm not here because just not learning. I'm so keen only because I'm also learning just like you are. And sometimes we forget also, it's much, some of it is a revision. When somebody asks, I'm reminded, oh, Swami said this, this is what means. So I think it's just a group study, ultimately. And each of you are contributing the same manner. And there are many who come here silently, listen and go also. They also, in their own way, I'm sure, communicating to us. Even when they think something, I think it affects each one of us. So that is the best thing about satsangam. People of like-minded people coming together and learning. So it is a blessing. I also consider this a great blessing to be part of this group and enjoy reading Swami's words. So please, some people are blessed, some people are rich. God has given. So just the way, different people are rich in different ways. So we don't have to worry about it. It's a pleasure, joy to join week after week. I think we will close for today. Thank you very much for the kind words, but I don't think, even see, we are lucky to have Mani Auntie. I didn't know about her, but
that is
Swami just brings the right set of people and puts them together. So we all learn. That's the way it works, I think.
Yeah.
And so it's a joy to have each one of you as part of this study. Sai Ram. We will close with Samastaloka and Shanti. Sai. Om Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sai Ram, everyone.
Sai Ram.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day. Thanks.